Hello, all of my beautiful creative birds. This is Tiffany from Stuck on a Cloud, and welcome to another episode of Journaling with the Cloud. So here I am just adding a glue stick with for tissue paper, and I use just plain like craft glue stick and double-sided tape mostly. The double-sided tape, I started using that years ago when I was scrapbooking, and the glue sticks, actually I just started using those for the journals. I never really ever used glue sticks before. I always just used double-sided tape or like Mod Podge or gel medium. But with journaling, it works good. And so yeah, this is me just adding to figuring out my page a little bit. I will just hop on for a little bit, let you guys watch me create, and I'll pop back on in a little bit later. So here I'm gathering all my paper scraps. I keep all my paper scraps in a little plastic holder. You'll see it here in a second. I usually tend to go to that first when I try to decipher papers before I start digging through the uncut paper supply, which I have a lot of. Unless I know if I want to use a certain kind of paper, I usually dig through the scraps first for journaling because, it's junk journal, so use all your scraps. So I just wanted to share how, the paper process of it works. And yes, I do journal first thing in the morning. So this morning I actually didn't get dressed yet, and quite a few years ago, I dressed up as a granny old lady for Halloween, and because my husband, I'm a few months older than him, always calls me old lady, so I surprised him and came out dressed up like his old lady, so I was his old lady for Halloween. But I ended up buying an old granny muumuu to wear for that, and it turned out to be really soft and comfortable, so I wear it often. So you will see my little sleeves with my teacups and my granny muumuu that I wear sometimes in the morning, which is, that's a little fun fact to me. I just was going through, those were my journaling cards and papers, and a little stack of where I keep all the little things for journaling was in there. So I go through and just take out everything that I think might work. I won't use all of them, but I just grab everything that I think might work and just play around and see how things go on the page, what I feel if it's gonna work or not. So anyways, I let you guys watch a little bit more of me creating. as you can see that I just mess around and layer and try all the different pieces in all different spots of layering to see how it works. That's why my process sometimes takes a little longer, because I just grab everything and just start playing and layering and seeing what works. This page actually took a little bit longer than some others, because I did kind of a double page. The dictionary page in the middle there just kind of uses an extra little page, so I will be actually doing the back side of that too. So yeah, that was just a little watching me layer things, but I'll pop back off again. Be back soon. I sometimes like to ink the edges of my either journaling cards or the edges of things to just kind of give it a little more pop out detail from all the layers behind it. I don't really use any special kind of inks. I know there's some out there that use, you know, all the expensive inks. The little small inks that I'm using now I got from Walmart. That was only like a couple bucks. I tend to be a cheap scrapper. I have a lot of supplies. I have a room full of supplies. I have a variety of every kind of crafting, paper, fabric, whatever. But sometimes I buy the cheap stuff sometimes, and that works fine. So yeah, you don't have to have the most expensive, best materials out there all the time, especially with junk journaling. You can use, you can go to the dollar store and get stuff to use, and it's fine. So I just wanted to share that with you real fast. Here I'm just adding a little color to the tulip stamps that I used right there. I'm just coloring the leaves and with colored pencils, and then I'm going to use color pans to color the blooms of the tulips, but just gives it a little color, but you can still see the page behind it. So this envelope here I got was an extra in an order that I bought off of Etsy, and she put a little extra in there with some little goodies, and that's kind of what I based this whole page around, was the little extras that she had threw in that little envelope pocket. So I really wanted to use it. What I ended up doing was I flipped it around to the back side. So actually the little flap there was the back part of the front of the pocket envelope, and I just kind of folded it over, and then you'll see that I decorated it that way. But yeah, so you can use materials not exactly the way you get them, because that was the back side of the envelope, and I just folded it over, and it looked cuter that way. So just play around with your supplies, and you might be pleasantly happy of how things come out. That you sometimes are afraid to mess it up. I discovered a long time ago you can't mess up things too much when it comes to the art creative world. I actually taught my boys for 4 years and as a volunteer art teacher at their school, because their schools didn't actually have art teachers, so it was more of a parent volunteer program. And so I made the lesson plan for the art. I said the art class. I taught the art class. I was the art teacher, but I volunteered without getting paid, and I loved it actually. I really loved doing that. But I always told the kids, because there was some of them, they were so worried about it trying to be perfect. And in my opinion, is if you're creating with your art, your heart, and you're enjoying the process of just creating, it's perfect. You can't go wrong in art. So as long as you're enjoying it and it's coming from your heart, then it's perfect. So I want to share that with everyone. You don't stress out. Try new things when you create, and you never know what might come out of it. This jar here is my collection of fabric washi tapes. They're just fabric made into little tape strips. I get most of mine from a shop on Instagram. Lemony Stitch is what she goes by, and but there's others in there I got from other shops who I've sent in, and I actually made a couple of them. But yeah, fabric little washies are a fun little thing to use. And this here is my tin of flowers, all full of flowers. I do have some little bits like right there that are die cuts that I've gotten that I really liked, and I just once again copy them on my printer, and so I can use that images a few times without having to buy all the packs, because I actually do buy all the packs, and then there's no more because I bought them all. So I will copy them and use them on my pages. So yeah, that's a little inside secret tip for you. So this box here is actually amazing. My neighbor and friend, she invited me over for tea, and I came over, and she's like, I have a gift for you. And so she took me up, and she had tons of these boxes, and I guess she was picking out some wine, and the guy was making a display, and he was taking the wines out of them, and so she was like, what are you doing with the boxes? And he was, I'm gonna throw them away. And she was like, can I have them, please? So he was like, okay. And so I know she had a stack full, but she gave me like 7 of them, I think. And so yeah, I plan on doing some projects with those, redecorating them. But yeah, that was a really good score gift there. Those little wine boxes, it's pretty amazing. So that's a little storage thing that I use. That. I have a couple, just store-bought tins, some vintage tins. My husband actually smokes cigars, but I do enjoy the boxes that they come in, so I snag the cigar boxes from him, and I use those too for storages sometimes, and I will do a video one day with how I store things and stuff, but I just thought I would share that. Here I'm actually just thought, hey, let's add a paper clip to that little tag hole there, and then I got even more crazier and thought, oh, let's try to add some ribbon and a paper flower and staple it. It wasn't the easiest process to staple this on there because the flower had a gem, and so it was kind of hard to get the gem and the ribbon to stick. So I ended up having to tape it first and then staple it. Once I was doing that, it wasn't quite laying the same way, but it turned out to be pretty fun, and I liked that little fun little element to the page. It was something I don't normally do, and I was really happy with it, and it's fun. So try new things, you guys. once again you enjoyed my creative time of making my journals. I try to find little spots to add my little journaling on, and I hope you guys liked it. If you did like it, please push that like thumb button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and leave any questions, comments, share the love below if you'd love to. And I thank you once again for dropping by and watching another episode with me, and I will be back again. But always remember to spread love, smiles, and sunshine. Thank you.